Welcome, 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 my sacred Michael, to this 13th episode of Alchemy Short Video Series. I am so excited to start this first day of fall after the powerful equinox with you, welcoming you in this, number 13 is such a magical, mystical mastery number. So of course, you being the master, particularly bringing your mastery in, I'm so excited to welcome you. Micheal Matucci, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Oh, so sweet. So, it's really amazing. The video series is really about individuals that I just love and I appreciate. They're such a huge part of my life. And also the ones that are serving their mission boldly, like literally just anchoring their light. So you're one of them. And I'm just so happy that you accepted my invitation in this. And for those that don't know, of course, we have journeyed so much together over these past few years. And I feel so blessed to be on this seat and just continuously being a witness to the ones that are being interviewed, and them really having this call somewhere and then just putting in the action these past few years and really serving it. So the journey with you has been amazing. From first day I met you with Sam, and seeing your geometric patterns as, do you know when was that? It was 5 years ago, right? It was June, I remember that.
At least, no more than 5, I think. Oh, maybe 5.
No, it was 5 because it
Was
was
it
the
5?
solstice. You guys were going to the summer solstice the day before.
Okay.
Yeah, solstice to equinoxes, they're always very powerful. And my gosh, like you really took this calling that came to you and just ran with it. Just literally ran with it, and little did you know it would be a whole different picture, right? Like a whole different experience that you could have ever imagined.
And I had the blessing of having already lived in 5 continents and learned lots of languages and did so many wonderful, amazing adventures that we typically associate with life adventure. And then to take my divine calling,
Yes.
to begin that journey and to go on that quest, well, that's bigger than anything that I could have imagined or had seen before, witnessed or heard, except a little bit from you.
Yeah, just a little bit. We had a chance to chit chat, hours and hours of talking. But isn't it interesting, Michael? Like, for example, if the divine plan was literally in its blueprint shown before us and our part of it, do you really feel we would right away say yes, like based on what we've experienced so far? I feel like most of us would be like, no freaking way. If somebody told you 6 years ago, hey, Michael, oh yeah, you're going to be covering documentary of sex trafficking, human trafficking, you're going to really blast this open. Would you even like believe that?
Curiously, before I had begun this chapter in my life, I knew that I was here to live a mission. And when I was living overseas, I originally returned to the States with the notion that I was here for that. I didn't know what that was, but I knew that it had something to do with TV and movies, because that's where people are. They're on the screen. And I said, even though I started as an actor, I figured, you know what, this is probably to help people through this medium at some point. And I took an internship, even though I was studying as an actor, I took an internship in New York to help market a film, which I just was like looking for any film. And it turned out to be a narrative fictional film about sex trafficking in Cambodia.
Oh, there was a
The
little
seed
bit
was
of a
planted.
point.
Yeah. And then when I was in Australia, working with Indigenous peoples, I met 2 mature people who had kids had been trafficked in the elite ring. And so again, it was like, this is going to come up. So when I came back around a couple of years ago, I would say I'm a little bit unconventional though. And the way that it happened, I would probably have been like, what? I have to do all this stuff. And, go back to America and go and live without any stuff and
Yeah.
live in all these homes and live with family again. Oh my gosh. And then, so maybe, some part of me might have resisted. At the same time, the big me came back for that reason.
No, of course. And that's the whole journey of this ascension. We are loved along the way while we are unfolding that deeper part of ourselves, that holy crisis self that's coming into this outer vehicles of consciousness, but the material that is presented to us is through in which we can actually digest, because like, again, when that larger picture, if it's like planted to us, we won't be able to fully handle it. And there's this like little crumb, like breadcrumbs, and then by the time we fully surrender in, yes, I can't believe, but I'm actually gonna say yes and deliver this, then you're fully enforced to handle it.
That's
and
true.
and you do feel the power of the love, that hand of love that is really holding you along the way each time you say yes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably the biggest part of the quest, is the continual stretching into faith, the
Yeah,
continual stretching into our big trust,
yeah,
and that people are going to show up, resources are going to show up, and that I get to continue to grow and expand along the way. I'm required to grow and expand along the way to hold the ever bigger container that I'm here to
exactly.
hold, and to meet the mission that I'm here to meet. So beyond a space of I'm just in service, okay, now it's ready. It's been like, oh, well, then I'm going to bring in this. Well, that requires me to get to here.
That's
Oh,
right.
so, I get to keep going too.
That's
That
right.
definitely different than I would have imagined, and also more satisfying
Yeah.
and more adventurous and more interesting than I would have imagined as
It's
well.
much more enriched, that the divine enrichment is true. um it's true golden, like you really can feel like it's like that inner thirst, inner hunger is really satisfied. And so with that, it couldn't have been more of a perfect timing, because I have really along these years, Michael, like when you started um, stumbling upon this, bringing it to the light, like just constantly putting a lot of prayers around you, because we knew what you're bringing into the light. So it was beautiful. There was like a bit of a break, and now, because of the mass exposure, thank goddess to 2020's revelation, we are living in the book of revelation, literally. So here you are, you have so much more support because the massive exposure has been out, so you can authentically bring it out and feel the hands of support around this. So with that, this next few 5 minutes is all about, where are you with this? Give us a little bit. Is the documentary finished? Where are you with it?
Yeah, so my work is actually expanded to be, yes, a TV series, which where I'm at with that is, after just spending some time in LA, I realized that a lot of stuff is shut down. And my plan B, which always felt best in my heart, to take a caravan or a couple vans and drive around to meet with all of my survivor, healer, victor, leader,
Yes.
people that I've met, and actually just motor around and continue to see them for several months. That's actually looking like it's getting some steam, and I'd love to be starting at the beginning of next year,
Oh, perfect.
depending on the resources and the sponsorships coming through.
Excellent.
But that's feeling, I feel as strong as ever about that. And I have some amazing people, some of the most inspirational people, the people will ever meet, who have survived the worst of the worst and are on the other side advocating, healing, and helping.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also working on an app and a website to be able to facilitate connections between people who are interested in learning, participating, donating, getting speakers, to find local survivor-led organizations,
Excellent.
trauma-informed organizations in their area that are vetted, that have proven impact, to be able to facilitate and bring together people in their areas. So that's more than just interest. It's like, then what? Have something there for people
Yeah,
to.
the action plan. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then finally, I'm writing a book with a survivor friend, who has gone through the most incredible decades-long journey of ritual abuse, torture, experimentation, and sex trafficking. And her passion for healing, her dedication to herself is astounding. It's an inspiration for so many. And
is that the person you had a video on your Facebook page, or that's somebody else?
That'll be kept quiet for
Okay.
the time being.
Gotcha.
And then we'll come out together in an effort that will also be helping her to raise money for her school. She's attending a psychology program right now at a university, and we will use the book to help raise money for her studies.
Excellent. So let me tell us a little bit about this human trafficking, sex trafficking. Like, what would you say, like, at the core of it? Is this a light on the humanity that has pulled together, finally able to transmute this density back into light, so it completely stops the consciousness that has been played for a very, very long time?
All is possible.
Yeah.
All is possible when we recognize that we are part of it. If this is at its very base, the very essence, the manipulation of sexual energy for profit, pleasure, and control. If you have sexual energy, you're participating. So you're either feeding into the old paradigms, anyone is, and that could be something more obvious, like buying sex or watching pornography, or it could be something more subtle, like just supporting or watching or buying products from advertisers that are using sex to sell, or using your own sex to get a good deal somewhere, or to withhold it from a partner because you want something. So understanding that ultimately it all starts in here. And am I using my sexuality or to manipulate? Am I facilitating, supporting, even if it's a click or a watch, anyone who's doing that? Then I'm participating in it. So but at the same time, I'm empowered. I can say, wow, I can make a difference in how we treat one another when it comes to relationship and sexuality by first stepping into my own divine intimacy, my own commitment to sacred union, and my own support of people who are doing the same thing. And so we are empowered, and when we do that, then we're going to start seeing more changes on the outside. So it's other than necessary that everyone becomes an activist. We obviously welcome in trauma-informed activism and informed sharing. At the same time, the first activism is in here. And when we see that this whole thing is pointing us in the direction of divine intimacy, of true union, true God union and relationship, then we'll have somewhere to go. While we're still fighting it and trying to remove it and beat it up, it just kind of keeps it in place.
Got you. And where can Michael, of course we have Systems Busters in here, but besides that, where can individuals find you, the support you need, what do you need, and where can people find you in this next minute we have left?
Yeah, well, the best place right now, because some of these endeavors are still going to be taking shape online soon, is through my website, which is just my name, michealmatucci.com.
Yes.
And there is a support page. What I do, I am for these endeavors, a certain amount of financing is very helpful. So that's a portion. A contact to somebody who could be a really wonderful person to promote any of these, influencer, or people in these industries that I've mentioned. Publishing and distribution of movies and things like that, or in this case, it's a TV show, as well as people who have an aligned heart and talent that would be specific to what we're talking about. I get a lot of people say, I want to help, and I really appreciate that. And right now, it's really targeted high-level help in the areas of bringing forth a series, an app, and a book. If you got that, then great.
Perfect.
You know. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, my darling. I mean, of course, you and I can talk for like hours and hours and hours, but this galactic speed, you know, this 50 minutes is just straight to the point, get the information and out. I do have your website link, and that will be posted on here, and anything extra. So we're very grateful for everybody that took part in just watching today and sharing the video and putting it in the right hands in which you need. And I really appreciate the knowledge that you brought forth in individual responsibility that is part of this. I'm so grateful to you, because most people miss that and they don't recognize it. So that was a beautiful recognition that we each can participate by shifting that consciousness within us. And I really love that. I love you dearly, Micheal.
Love you
Thank
too.
you so much for answering the call to your divine mission and boldly standing in it. And may just divine's protection and love continue to be around you, so you can fully deliver this in its fullness according to the divine plan.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your leadership and your inspiration for all that you're doing as well. It's welcomed and rich and so special for our world. Thank you.
So much love. So much love until next time. And thank you, everyone. Micheal, 1 second, please.